What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. Amazing stuff. It is Thursday, my last day of this week. So we're going to make it count. We're going to make it count. Then we're back on Monday. But do me a favor before we start. Hit that like button. Smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. You have time. Topics to be covered. You guys see the thumbnail. Some of you guys may not know what that is or who that is. But her name is Caitlin Clark. And she's a basketball star. And we're going to get into some of that stuff. Some of that talk. So for whatever reason, if you want to call in and talk about whatever you want, past shows, today's show, doesn't matter. Argue, disagree, we can do it all. You can call in at 888-775-3773, and we can discuss all that good stuff. 888-775-3773. We'll get into that. If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment or you want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description, or go directly to the YouTube super chat button and click that in the live chat and send your question or comments there, and I'll read them live on air. And I usually try to read them as soon as they come in. That way I don't forget them and I don't miss them. But those are always fun. So buymeacoffee.com or a YouTube. Right on. Shout out to, we're live on IG again. Like I said, we're going live on IG and YouTube equally. So shout out to the IG peeps. What's up, IG? Holding it down, folks in the IG chat. How's it going, y'all? And then shout out to the Mod Squad. Mod Squad holding it down, as always. Shout out to the man cave, as well as the rib cage, as a whole, the snake pit. Much love, much love. Amazing stuff. Nice. What's up, Chris? Kale Samogi. Hake report. Amazing stuff. And I accidentally was playing Stephon Hake's ending there. He black. I didn't know that was going to happen. Oops. He black. What's up, King Wesley? Why you seem so low energy today? What's wrong? I'm not. Well, I think I kind of am, because I ate breakfast today in the morning. I usually don't eat breakfast. I ate breakfast this morning, so I think that got me a little bit slower than average. But we'll pick it up. We'll find the momentum. But thanks for pointing it out. Now, I could be more aware of it. But anyway, let's get to it. I have so much I want to show you guys about this story that I hope I'm going to be able to pull it all together, right? As far as like picks and all that stuff. There's so many things I want to show you. We have clips, and I'm gonna try to get to them all here so that way I can fully lay this out how I want to. But Carver said breakfast the most beta meal of the day. I used to love breakfast, but yeah, it just kind of was still in. When I don't eat breakfast and I just wait, I have more energy. So that's just me. So I usually skip breakfast and just eat at lunchtime and do it like that, and I enjoy that better. But this morning I was feeling greedy and had breakfast, and now I'm suffering. Lord have mercy. Anyway, so let's get to it because we only got an hour. Let's get to it. Callers, I will get to you in a second here. We have somebody on the line. So Caitlin Clark, right? There's this big buzz right now around women's NCAA, which is women's basketball, and specifically from Caitlin Clark. So let me see if I can show a little something of the girl. Let's see. Bow. Right there, that's Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is a young college, well, no longer college now. She got drafted into the WNBA, but 22 years old, young girl, basketball protege, and she is in all over social media right now. And there's a lot of buzz going around her name and what she kind of has to offer the sport. And she has a big following on IG, over 1 million on IG, and she's college. She's not even professionals yet. She just got drafted, but she's popular, as a college basketball star. And I'm gonna tell you guys why, and why I'm even bringing this up, right? Because I'm not really like into sports like that, and I'm not even like really like a sports fanatic or care about stats or things like that. But this particular situation caught my attention, and things that are being said around it that, of course, everything becomes politicized and political, and everybody has opinions, and it's that part of it that I want to get into. So we're going to get to it. I'm going to show you really quick here. So I was on, let me go back to me. Oh. That's not me. That's not me either. I'm going to find me right here. Wait for it. There I am. So, I was on Instagram, and then when I got to Instagram, there's this thing called Threads. We know Threads. Threads is like the 2.0 version of X. Right, for Instagram. Not even 2.0, but you know what I mean. And on Threads, there was this girl who made this comment that was so interesting to me. And I wanted to show you what she said about it, because Caitlin Clark got drafted into the NBA, the WNBA, the women's league, and her contract was kind of low, right? So I'm going to show you guys the contract. Boom. Let's see here. This is the contract for Caitlin Clark being drafted into the WNBA. So she was a number 1 draft pick to the Indiana Fever, with her rookie contract being 4 years of $338,000, right? And the breakdown is below, as you see. In 2024, she'll make $76,000 for that year. 2025, she'll make 78, 26, 85. 27, she'll get the higher amount of $97. And this is only for the year, right? So the 4-year contract, They broke it up within each year, and this is how much she makes each year. So if you really look at the numbers are kind of like like anybody really can make, to be honest. Like, you don't have to be a star or a celebrity. You can have a regular job and make, $76,000 a year, which is not really a lot in the times that we live in today. It's kind of a little bit. And but it's enough. It's enough to do what it's got to do. But as far as athletes go, that's just typically not what is, that's not the standard. But where the issue came in is that this girl, this female posted her complaints about this, right? Because obviously after all this buzz that's going on with Caitlin Clark, this girl posted this. Oh no, that's Steph Curry's. We don't want that one. This girl said the highest paid male athletes in the NBA, this is from Threads, the highest paid male athletes in the NBA makes $37.5 million a year. Oh, $37 to $45 million a year. The highest paid female athlete in the WNBA makes $252,000 a year. This is a big problem. And my response was like, it's because it's way less entertaining, and if they want the prices to go up, then they should make it more entertaining. They're not as talented. They're not as skillful as the men. So that's why people don't want to watch. That's why the numbers aren't up. But this guy below, he's a well-known guy. I forgot his name. Bed Rose Scullivan, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. But his comment was more appropriate than mine, meaning like more respectful. And I wasn't cussing her out or nothing, but he just came from a better approach. So I would rather read his. Let me see. I can get a clear thing. So his says, with all due respect, maybe I can help shed some light on that. While the NBA also owns the WNBA, they are still a business, and they will only invest in the businesses that have a higher return on the investment. For example, if you own two companies and company A was doing very well in sales and profits, and company B was not doing well, each time you invested in it, eventually you stop putting money into company B and you move all your assets into company A. That's basically what he was saying. And 100%. And she responded, hold on. And she responded and was like, thank you for being a gentleman about the response and blah, blah, blah. And she kind of had her thing, right? But I say all that to say is that, like, I just don't like commentary on things that are like common sense. Just common sense, right? So common sense says, if you're good at what you do, you're going to get paid more. If people want to see you, you're going to get paid more. And if you're not being paid enough, then obviously we know over time through history that there's certain things or certain people who made the change, or they stood up for more rights and the rights were given. So there's a lot of things that will happen, but oftentimes it's not deserved. It's just not deserved, right? And there's no shade. It's just not deserved. You're not getting those numbers. You're not getting that money is because it's just not deserved. And I was like, that's interesting. But the reason why I wanted to bring up Caitlin Clark, because I wanted to give Caitlin Clark her flowers, right? Because I was looking into her background, looking into the buzz that she has going on, her skill and all that stuff. And I want to give her flowers for being who she is. Now, it's aside for whether I agree or not, women doing certain things. Like, it's not my business. If you want to play sports or you want to do whatever you want to do, that's up to you, right? So this is aside from my beliefs and values of the women's and men's roles. But just strictly, I want to give her flowers for her skill. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of background. Bear with me. And then we're going to get to the clip. And then we'll wrap up the message and get to some calls. Okay? So hold on one second. Let me do this here. So this is from Nielsen.com. An estimated 18.9 million viewers watched the NCAA Women's Basketball National Championship matchup between South Carolina Gamecocks and Iowa Hawkeys, which the Iowa was led by the lead scorer, Caitlin Clark. And it's from Axios.com. By the numbers, the Women's Championship gathered nearly 18 million views, compared to 14.8 million views for the men's finals, according to Nielsen.com, right? So the women's championship, women's college championship game was viewed 4 million times more than the boys. You got to give the respect where it's due. You got to get a respect where it's due. You can agree with it, you like it or not, but the people want to watch the girls more than they want to watch the boys. Aside from what you believe, you got to give the credit where it's due. So the girls championship this year was more popular than the guys as far as NCAA goes, college basketball. Caitlin Clark, listen to this. Caitlin Clark is NCAA's Division I all-time leading scorer in both men's and women's basketball and was a two-time National Player of the Year with the Hawkeys. All-time leading scorer in men and women, according to Wikipedia. Caitlin Clark is college basketball's all-time leading scorer in both men's and women's basketball and was a two-time National Player of the Year with the Hawkeys. Credit where it's due. Credit where it's due. Why? I'm going to tell you why. A little bit of background on Caitlin, and then we'll get to the rest. Is because it's important to know where she came from a little bit. Caitlin is 22 years old. At the age of 5, she competed in boys' recreational leagues because her father could not find a girls' league to her age group. So she was competing with boys at a younger age in the boys' team. Her freshman season at Iowa, she led. So as she grew up, she played basketball. She was on a travel team. She was on all these different things growing up. But fast forward to college, her freshman season, she led the division in scoring, earned All-American honors. Her sophomore year, Clark was unanimous first team All-American and became the first women player to lead in the division in points and assists in one season. Her junior year, she was the National Player of the Year and led Iowa to its first national championship game. As a senior, she repeated a National Player of the Year and helped Iowa return to the title game. Clark became the Division I career and single-season leader in points and three-pointers and broke the all-time conference record in assists while leading the nation in both points and assists. Over the boys. Over the boys. Right? But before I get to my actual point, I want to play you guys a clip. Stay for the point. Stick around for the point because the point is good, I think. I want to just play some of her highlights. Okay, this is Caitlin Clark on the court, balling it up. Long range. Sit down. Boom. That's Clark. That's some of her highlights, I think, from this past season. But Browda says, Joel, women's basketball is evil. Hey, listen. Like I said, aside from beliefs and what you believe is right and wrong, aside from that, credit where it's due. And I'm going to get to my point now. The reason why I want to give her flowers is because nowadays, women and people in general, but we're like lowering the standard for, like, remember we were talking about the police academy thing? For the police academy, when it comes to women in the police academy, they lower the standard so women can get in. They make it easier for them. You have to do less push-ups, less sit-ups, less this, less that, right? And because of that, you're catering to the women. You're not making them tough to, if they're going to be out there, if they're going to choose to be out there in the streets and fighting crime and protecting the people, they need to be tough, right? You don't want to lower the standards, but that's what they're doing in the world. But what I respect is that regardless, aside from beliefs or not, Caitlin Clark is raising the standard. Meaning, like, if you're going to do it, at least she's not making excuses about it. Like, oh, I need to be, they're going to need to, you got to give me this, you got to give me that. No, she's making sure that she's good. She's putting the work in and she's doing her thing. And you got to respect it. And I would much rather, listen, lowering the standard would mean that, you know what, we're going to give the women's college basketball league credit. Even though they didn't get as much views as the men's, we're going to give them credit and say that they're just as good as the men's, even though they didn't get enough views. That's what catering is. But that's not what happened this year. What happened was the women's basketball league was had more views, not better, but more views than the men's basketball college championship. And that had nothing to do with catering. They were more entertaining. They were more fun to watch. You got to give the flowers. And I respect that because you're not lowering the standard for somebody. If they're going to be there, they better earn it, right? Whether you agree with it or not, if they're going to be there, they better earn it. And she's doing that. She's putting the work in. She's doing her thing. She's got everybody watching. She's becoming popular. And you could tell she got game there. She got game. And I salute that. If you're going to do it right. As right as possible. So, shout out to Caitlin Clark. And listen, if she needs to be getting paid more, if anybody's complaining about not being paid enough, then do better. Do better. Right? Do better. Let your skill, let your work ethic do the demanding of more. Right? Because if you're that good, then there's no way that you're not going to be getting what you deserve, what you have coming to you. So let the skill set speak for you. You don't need no activist to tell you that women aren't getting fair money and they need to be working. It's not fair compared to men. No, if the talent is there and the eyeballs are there, then it will happen. So I just wanted to give my flowers to Caitlin Clark for doing her thing. And hold on. Let me just show. Because, every once in a while, you just gotta give respect where it's due. So Number one draft pick for the WNBA. And, I have my beliefs and my views on how I see women and men roles and stuff like that. But I wanted to put that aside just for the sake of at least she's not asking to be catered to that I know of, right? She's not asking for a handout. She's not asking to be let in because she's a woman or let in because it's not fair. She's number one draft pick because people want to watch her. She's popular. She's good. You can't deny the talent, the skill. She's good. So, Carver with the super chat for Caitlin Flower Fund. You can save her, Joel. That's what. Carver says you can save her, Joel. Listen. She used to keep her. Hake said, this is how we were with T Swiss because she used to keep her dumb mouth. I disavow you too. I disavow. Go after Hake. Not me. Hake said it. Queen of the Jungle Ball. Good doesn't mean famous. I knew you guys were going to be cooking in the chat. I knew it. When I was preparing the show, she's juicing up. I don't know. Or she can get a real job. Hey. Do what you want to do. But don't be begging. I don't care what people do. I don't care if the gay want to do what the gay want to do. Transgender want to do what the trans want to do. Do it if that's what you want to do. Live your life, but don't be begging and complaining and imposing. That's all I'm saying. Don't be begging and complaining and composing. Do what you want. Live your life the way you want to live it. I ain't got no problem with it. It had nothing to do with me. But as long as you're not begging, complaining, and imposing. And it's so far, I don't know Caitlin Clark. So far, she's just doing her thing. And people are, look, they got Hake and Joel talking about it. Because Hake covered this yesterday, I believe. Something similar. So she's in the news. She's getting popular. So, salute to Caitlin Clark. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's go to King Wesley said, you irritate me. What? Why? What'd I say? They say they lower standards for minorities. All of this is BS. I don't get it. They say they lower standards for minorities. They do, though. The standards do get lowered. Not all, but the standards do get lowered for minorities. The standards get lowered for women. The standards get lowered for gays. And it's like these what's the word I'm looking for? Underrepresented communities. The standards get lowered because the people who are lowering the standards feel bad. They feel mama about it. And it's not fair. Poor them. And then they make them not work hard. And it's a form of spoiling. Nobody's standards should be lower. What does that even mean? Lower the standards. What does that even mean? You don't even lower the standards for Down syndrome. You don't lower the standards for what's the other one? uh, ADD, ADHD, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Tourette's, that's not it either. The spectrum, people on the spectrum. What are they called? Somebody help me out here. They probably are, but I'm trying to find the autism. Thank you, Sean. Autistic people. Don't lower the standard for them. Because you're not helping nobody when you lower the standards. Make them have to work. Make them have to work. That just means they have to work a little bit harder. And that's okay. Everybody got to work a little bit harder in some area. That's okay. Work a little bit harder because that way you overcome. You overcome. You overcome. You want to overcome these things. And that's part of the testimony. That's part of the story, that the odds were against you and you overcame. Nobody should be catered to. That's evil behavior. And that person's going to grow up and resent you for it. And as a matter of fact, that's what's happening in society. It's really a manifestation of a nature, God's nature, the spirit, underdeveloped. Not being able to reveal itself properly, coming from resentment, coming from all these things, being raised a certain way, being spoiled or being given things or stealing, shortcuts, sex, drugs, all those things are a manifestation of the destruction of society that we're seeing today, because there's no awareness, because there's no really no awareness and acknowledgement and accountability, right? So you can overcome. So I'm telling you, and if the women's basketball league gets to the same amount of pay as the men, I don't care about that. What I care about is that is it deserving? Are they just as good? Are they just as good? Because if we're getting the same pay, are you just as good? You know what I mean? So that's why I said, let the girls go on the football team. Let them go play the football with the boys. Let them get on the football team and let them get hit. Let them get hit sticked. It'll be the last game. And if it's not the last game and they feel like it's making them tougher and then they want to stay on the football team, then let them do it. I don't know how to let them do it, but but my point is, it has to be earned and not given. It has to be earned and not given. Right? And I don't think women should play on the men's team, men should play on the women's team. I was just using that as an example. The point is that if you're gonna act like a man or be and do manly things, then you gotta back it up then. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Let me go to you can call in 888-775-3773. Let me just take it. There's some super chats here. La la la. Ooh la la. Ay ay ay. Jessica says they won't though. Right. At the end of the day. Thomas says, no, Joel, that's stupid. Art at Ohio. Art, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, Joel?
How's it going, Art?
All right, all right. First thing first.
Yes, sir.
That Caitlin Clark, she good and stuff or whatnot, but I think that America and society is looking at her like they would look at Donald Trump, especially the liberals. And when I say that, to say that, oh, after Artie Art and people been supporting and saying we want Trump back in office in 2020 or whatnot, they like, oh no, let's scan for Sleepy Creepy. You know what I mean? Now that the liberals don't see what's going on in their cities and they can't eat, same people that were screaming that all this little nonsense, now they trying to come back around in 2024 and think that they're gonna try to help get Trump back in the office because they think that it's gonna fix everything, and it ain't gonna fix everything or whatnot. It was only gonna be so much that he was gonna be able to do when Trump is in office. It's only gonna be so much that Caitlin Clark is gonna be able to do, and they pushing propaganda as far as on the social media platforms, trying to prop her up because they thinking that she gonna be the great white hope. This gonna say
In what way though? In what way is she?
huh?
In what way do you think that they're comparing her or they're idolizing her as this figure that's gonna save people? In what way do you mean
Well,
that?
no, they think that she's gonna save the WNBA, and she's not gonna save
Oh,
the
I see.
WNBA.
I see. I see.
Just like just like the NBA's dying, the WNBA is gonna die too. And the reason why the WNBA is gonna die off is because they participating in dysfunction. The reason why the WNBA ain't succeeding is because their moral compass is broken.
Right.
Meaning they're evil. Most of them are evil. 90% of the WNBA is LGBTQ weirdos. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
they're naturally gonna die off, but they thinking that she's gonna come in and save the league or whatnot, and I doubt that that's gonna happen. And another thing is, I want to give her props too, because allegedly I heard that she's allegedly straight.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about her, but I don't know about that stuff. I don't know about her preference. But
Yeah.
but let me just make the point on what you're saying about they think they're gonna be a savior. You're right in the sense of the fact that based on our beliefs though, based on our beliefs and what we believe, is she's working against the natural nature and the women's NBA. The reason why it's not what it is because it's not in them to be as athletic and as entertaining as the masculine energy tends to be. And that's that's true, but at the same time, I just am tired of, and I want you to tell me what you think about it. I'm tired of things being given to people just because they feel like they're underprivileged or they're not being given a fair shot. But what Caitlin Clark is doing is she's saying that I'm this good or I'm good enough for the viewership. I'm good enough to get these certain accolades. And I respect that more than it just being given to her because she's a woman and women should also be making equal basketball pay as the men. You know what I mean?
Well, well, well. What are you talking about as far as with the pay, or are you talking about as far as with the athletic?
Well, let's just say Caitlin Clark pay goes up because of the fact that like she's the leading scorer of both men's and women's college basketball. Let's just say she becomes the leading scorer of the WNBA. Then why wouldn't her pay go up? Why wouldn't she be deserving of higher pay?
You saying if the NBA viewership goes up?
Yeah, like if she's like killing it and she's like bringing more viewership to the WNBA and it becomes more popular because of her, do you think that she should be making more money or she's deserving of pay that's higher than whatever?
Well, I mean that's capitalism. I'm a far
Right.
right ultra MAGA conservative. Of course, I'd be stupid to
Right.
say that wouldn't be right.
Right.
But you say that she's the leading scorer of the women's college basketball and the men's college basketball. Well, okay, my thing is
According
this,
to
even with
Wikipedia.
that, of course, and that's propaganda because the highest scorer in the G League, which is the little brother of the NBA, compare him, the person in the G League, to the NBA. How can you compare a female's basketball to male's basketball? And I'm saying this as far as what they say that she's the leading scorer in the college over the males in the college basketball. They're two separate competitions. So I don't even understand how they would even make the comparison with that.
Well, I think the point when it comes to college, when it comes to the college league, NCAA, the fans and the people wanted to watch the women's games more than it's the men. So even though, of course, all the men are going to be more athletic than the women, but as far as like money and advertisement, it all went to the people wanting to watch the women's game. And for that, I'm just like, well, then that means that the women are stepping it up and the men are losing it.
No.
And
I'm saying the scoring. You can't compare the scoring because the competition is different.
I
That's
see.
what I'm saying.
I see.
As far as what they saying,
Oh, that's
she's
true.
leading.
That's a good point. You're right about that.
I don't understand I don't understand how they're doing that.
Yeah. No, you're right. That is true, though. That is true. Is that you can't compare her having the best points when she's competing against who she's competing with, opposed to the men. Yeah, that's a good point. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it on that that note. And I was watching the show yesterday or whatnot, and I forgot who. I think it was your last caller who it was and what y'all was talking about. But a lot of stuff you was saying and y'all was talking about, I was agreeing with.
Say that last part. Say that last part again.
The last person you talked to yesterday, or I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was agreeing with a lot of what you were saying. You and that other caller was saying. I forgot what y'all was talking about. I wanted to comment on it, but
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I called in. I think I called in yesterday.
I don't remember what it was. But you had something else you wanted to get into as far as yesterday's topic?
No, you wanted to talk to me about the hate thing and with the me not calling.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did want to ask you really quick here. Yeah, I know that you had got bothered by it was like Hake had a guest on the show, and he said the N-word. He's half white, half black, half white, half Jamaican, I think. And he said the N-word, and you kind of like reacted. You like overreacted on the phone and kind of hung up or something. And we didn't see you for a long time. I don't know if it was because of that or not, but I was wondering why it bothered you so much that he said the N-word.
I don't remember hanging up. I don't think I.
Maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't.
Yeah, I don't think I hung up. I'm pretty sure I didn't hang. But first thing first is you said why didn't I call back in?
Well, more so because of time here. Why did it bother you?
Because if I gotta ask you or whatnot if you black or you white, then that should let you know that you don't look like you black. You see what I'm saying? Like if you say Joel say that I got a white dad and a black mom or something like that, I can see that in you. With him, I didn't see that in him. The second thing is when he's sitting there saying, and I don't know his
right.
He can say his mom or his dad was purple or whatnot, or or orange. That don't mean it is true. You see what I'm saying?
But why does it bother you? Why does what he said, whether he was the whitest of all white and still said the N-word, why did it bother you? Or why does it bother you?
Because I know that a lot of people say and do things over the internet or over the phone, and then you know that if it was in person, it'd be two different things. You know what I mean? And he can say the N, like let's say me and him face to face, and I told him to stop saying the N word. I'm gonna try to wrap this up or whatnot. He like, nah, I'm gonna say it all I want to. well, you say it around you and your friends. Don't let me catch you around me saying it because I feel like you being disrespectful.
Right, but
And then
why does that have to
hold on.
concern? Why does that have to concern you? Hake says he didn't call you the N-word nor anybody you know. But why does that have to? And I agree. Why does that have to concern you? Even if they call it to your face, don't you think that if you're overreacting to somebody calling you a word, you're being controlled by them?
Okay, and it can be vice versa.
What do you
It can
mean?
be vice versa. And vice versa. The same way that he's saying whatever he's saying, it can be. I can look at it saying you saying that I'm overreacting. He might be overreacting.
True, true.
From what he's saying. Go ahead, I'm listening.
No, and you're right about that. The other person could be overreacting, but I feel like, and even myself, I'm not including myself in this as well. But if I overreact to something that someone says, it has nothing to do with whether what they're saying is right or wrong. It's about why I'm overreacting. It's about me. I'm allowing somebody to affect me or worry. And what it really is me just worrying about my feelings and how I'm feeling and worrying about me. It had nothing to do with them being wrong. It's that I don't like how they treated me. And I feel like that's the part that we have to overcome, is being sensitive and being, because it really is he hurt your feelings by it, or the person hurt my feelings by it. But of course, as men, we don't want to admit to that. But that's really what it is. Would you agree?
No, heck no. Heck no. And
why not though? Because disrespect means your feelings are hurt.
No, I mean I disagree with I disagree with that too. Okay, let's look at it like this. If me and you get into an argument, and I say, Joel, you my friend.
Right.
You let me come over your house, I kick it with you, and me and you get in an argument. I say, well, Joel, next time I'm gonna sleep with your girl. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, well, hold up.
Right.
I'm taking this number out my phone, and he ain't never coming back over my house. Now, is that overreacting, or is that just having respect for you as having respect for yourself as a man, and knowing that, if this dude said that he gonna try to sleep with my girl, he's supposed to be my friend. Now, is that overreacting?
No, you're right about that. That you should deal with the situation as you see fit in that moment, and there is a way that the situation should be dealt with. Like, you deal with that and you realize that you see that person is not really your friend, right? And then you may have to keep your distance or delete the number, like you said. But the feelings part, or the being affected, or the overreacting, that has nothing to do with them. That has to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we shouldn't be overreacting to it. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be getting mad. Even getting mad about it is feelings being hurt. Something in there was some kind of emotional response for whatever reason you gave off, for whatever reason. I don't know. You know. But the point is that yes, you deal with those things, but it shouldn't affect you, like, to the point to where you can't even that you look down upon them, or you judge them, or they're this kind of way. It shouldn't be that point. It shouldn't get to that point. There shouldn't be no emotional response. You should be able to just say what you have to say, let the person go, but then also be able to, on the same hand, forgive them or deal with them, still show love to them if the moment calls for it, on the same hand, if I'm making sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't be an emotional response, is what I'm saying. And that's what it seemed like when you reacted to Krishan saying that on the show. And when he wasn't in front of you, he wasn't even around. And I don't even think he was saying it to you, but it seemed like your emotions got involved a little bit, and you overreacted.
Well, and that's another thing that I wanted to bring up too, is that, like, I get what you're trying to say, and you trying to say, I get what you're saying as far as with the overreacting to words, and let me see if you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
That I feel like the younger generation, y'all try to be accepting. Y'all think that y'all can say, do, and accept anything, and it's cool. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh,
I get what you're trying. I get what you're trying to say as far as with. Of course,
yeah.
you don't overreact to words.
Oh, I see what you're
I'm not
saying.
just gonna I'm not just gonna go. He's saying a hard N word. I'm not just gonna go blast him off in his mouth or
Right.
whatnot. But if I remove myself for the situation and you keep coming towards
I
me
see.
or
I see.
pursuing me and you being disrespectful and invading, I'm gonna blast you off in your mouth. So that ain't got nothing to
Well,
do
but
with
here's
words. That got something to do with you having respect for me in my personal space.
I understand. I totally understand what you're saying too, because I'm not even saying that I wouldn't react in the same way in a certain situation. But what I'm learning as well is that, like, if you don't react and there's nothing in you that reacts, that person's attitude will change, and then they're only stuck with recognizing that they were wrong and they were the disrespectful one. But when we overreact to them, we're feeding into, let's just say if they are being disrespectful, which I don't think Krishan was in this moment, but you may have a different opinion, but let's just say that was the case. We're feeding into their negative energy, which is giving them more life. But they would become subject to you if you don't react to it, because they're not penetrating. Evil is not penetrating. And then they'll have no choice but to check themselves, and they'll realize, like, wow, I was actually a jerk and he just showed me love in response. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to overcome that offense of it. And then there would be no, you will just, as a matter of fact, if when we overcome and we're of love, but we're just not offended, right? Then there's an authority that comes from us that people won't even test us. There is no test in it, because they see that they can't stand against it.
Well, hold up. Well, but I mean, I get what you. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. So, do you think that a person letting people go around saying and doing stuff to them is showing that you carry yourself with authority, or are you drawing boundaries, which I'm doing? Which one is the one that's going to be deserving of respect?
The one that just doesn't have anger, the one that doesn't have an emotion. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't draw the boundaries, because I'm not disagreeing with that, because there is times that you're right. There are certain times you got to say something and be like, hey, like, you need to back up, you need to calm down. But any emotion involved is what's wrong. The anger part, the judgment.
Yeah, of course. Like if I'm whipping my kid, I'm not gonna be mad whooping him. I'm gonna whoop him and be happy. But I'm disciplining him. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not growling at the mouth and cussing and this and this. No, I'm gonna calmly, silently whoop him.
Right.
I might even
Right.
be smiling.
Because you
So
see in that moment, that's what you need to do. And I agree with that. And it doesn't have to be out of anger. I'm so out of time though, Art, but I agree with that point you're making. And it's just about not having the anger or the emotion attached to it. And then you'll be able to see how to deal with all things. So I agree with that point. I appreciate you, Art, calling in and answering honestly, man.
Yes, sir. Catch you later.
All right. Right on. Sorry, callers, I gotta end. American Anchor Baby's coming in. And I gotta end. Jamal Friday TV across the board. JLP Network. Make sure you guys follow and all that good stuff. And I'm back on Monday. I'm not here tomorrow, but The Fallen State premieres tomorrow. Make sure you guys check out that episode. Amazing stuff. You don't want to miss it at 12 p.m. Pacific time on the Fallen State channel. And we have the Hake Report tomorrow, JLP show. And Nick, American Anchor Baby, is streaming on the airplane at 4 p.m. So make sure you guys check it out. I got to go. So out of time. Until next time, y'all. Much love. Bye. Oh, shoot. I'm fixing it.